Hello everyone. Welcome to tonight's Facebook Live session. So if you're a P6 student, this will probably be the last session with me. Okay, So, hopefully I'll make this a very brief session because those P6ers out there, tomorrow will be your first paper already. So I hope to end this early, then you all can all go and catch some good sleep. Okay, so nice to see you all here. No more Fall Guys. Hello Delvin. Okay. Hello to Nicole. Hi Ian. Okay. So this will be a bit different. I'll just skip all the intro. So that we can get this done and over with. Okay, if you are the type that needs to sleep for like 9 hours I think you better close this and go and sleep already. Okay, just watch this replay tomorrow. Okay, with that, all that said, let's get started. Okay? Right, so today I'll be discussing the 2020 SA2 trending questions or prelim questions. Okay, you all must have seen this somewhere by now. It appeared several times in several groups with people not knowing how to do it, and of course there are several ways to do it, but today I'll propose a method that is less used. You seldom see people answering it in this manner, and the way to do it is systematic listing. So why do I propose this? Oh, hi Adam. The reason for this is that it appears in paper 1. So, although the question did not state that the lengths are whole numbers, we can do a trial and error for this first to see if it works. So now, let's just read through this question first. In the figure below, ABC and ADE are right-angled isosceles triangles. BD has the same length as CE. And ABE and ACE are straight lines. So that means there's one small triangle within a big triangle like this. Correct? Right. So once you got all this ready, the next thing you want to do is, because the area of the shaded part is 18 cm, we want to first ask ourselves, how can this shaded part be obtained? The shaded part can be obtained in the following manner. You can see that over here, this is the area. This would be the area of the big triangle. Triangle ADE's area. Okay. Then this is triangle ABC's area, and this is the shaded region. Hello, Waikit. Okay, everyone got that? So the shaded region, as we are told, is 18 cm squared. Now to deal with this, to find the length of AB, this is what we need to find. Here's what we can do. Because we know that the length difference between them is simply 2 cm, right? What we can do is to take to do a trial and error of big rectangles with a big triangles area and minus off the small triangles area to give us the shaded area. Okay, and the way to do this is this. Now let's say that the big triangles area, remember it follows the formula half times base times height. So this will be half times, okay, let's just give me a random number. Give me a random number. You all like to spam the like number, now's your chance to spam the like number. After tonight, I don't think you all will come back except want to watch this really. Now's your last chance. Okay, give me a random number, but not unreasonably big. Okay, so Ian says 1 and Polly says 23. So, no lah, the error is not that big lah. Okay, so I won't use 1 because your big triangle's length, right, cannot be less than 1. Your big triangle's length cannot be, no, sorry, your big triangle's base or height cannot be less than 1. Now, because these are right-angled isosceles triangles, the lengths are going to be the same. Okay, a bit difficult to draw, but here it is. So this will be 45 degrees, 45 degrees. Okay, so 20, okay, let's just go with 20. So 20 will be, let's say the big triangle's base is 20 and its perpendicular height is also 20. We minus off the small triangle's area. The small triangle's base and height has to be 2 less than 20. So if we try this out, right, we will obtain 38, which is too large, which means that we have to reduce the big triangle's area first. Okay, so Lena says 10. Okay, 10, actually 10 is already the exact answer. So this doesn't work. We can try out like what Sri was mentioning, half times 8 times 8. Now the idea here is to adjust the numbers in such a way that you can obtain the shaded areas portion to be 18. You require this to be 18. Okay, but after a few rounds of adjustments, you will see that the answer should be, okay, the combination that gives you a shaded area of 18 cm squared will be half times 10 times 10 minus half times 8 times 8 to give you 18. By right, you should put a tick, but I don't know how to do the tick here. Yeah. So if this combination works, you have to find the length of AB. AB is the smaller rectangle's base or height. So this length would simply be 8. Okay, the reason why we do this is because it's not that easy to rearrange this and explain this to the primary sixes. The most common one I've seen was that you cut off the triangle on top and then you find the area of this parallelogram, which is actually the area of a rectangle if you arranged it in this manner. But I don't think it's that easy to explain it to them. So that's why I try not to go by this path here. Okay, does everyone have it? I'll give you all about 30 seconds to ask your questions first. Yeah, the reason why I'm kind of rushing tonight is so that I can clear off this session early, then you all can go and sleep early. Okay, tomorrow is your first paper. I need you all to get a lot of rest. Okay, I'll just tell you a bit of story about myself. There was one time I studied all the way from I think 8 p.m. Until 8 a.m. Then I went to take my paper. No, it wasn't 8 a.m. It wasn't 8 a.m. That was an afternoon paper. The paper was at 1 p.m. the next day. Then I totally messed up that module. Okay, so yeah, don't follow Uncle Kevin's footsteps, okay? Don't just go and sleep early. Alright? Okay, so let's go to the next one. Next one, over here. At Candyland, chocolates are sold only in packets of 5 pieces and lollipops are only sold in packets of 4 sticks at the prices as shown below. So for chocolates are sold at 5 pieces for $1.99. Lollipops are sold at 4 sticks for 99 cents. So Julie spent $101.34 on some chocolates and lollipops at Candyland. She put all the chocolates and lollipops into the bag such that there were 3 pieces of chocolates and 2 sticks of lollipops in each bag. How many sticks of lollipops did Julie buy from Candyland? So here, the idea to solve this, right, is to make use of groups and ratios. That's the more traditional way, but I would like to show you something. If you can't like under the exam pressure conditions, you suddenly can't think of the combination, you can also rely on the concept of average. Okay, so here this may be a bit new to some of you, but the idea here is to use number, value, total value. Okay, so here when they say that she put all the chocolates and lollipops into bags such that there were 3 pieces of chocolates and 2 sticks of lollipop in each bag, this refers to a number of items. Okay, so over here we can derive the values of each item, and of course this would be your total value. So this is fairly advanced. If you've been following me and you understand how this number value, total value works, you can fall back on this as a backup plan. So there's going to be the number of items, the values of each item in terms of dollars, and the total value in terms of dollars. So there are chocolates and lollipops. This one is not so much on guess and check, although it can be used. I wouldn't say that guess and check should be the first line of offense for this. No idea. Okay, but anyway. So here the number here would be, there are 3 units of chocolates and there are 2 units of lollipops. Okay, for the values, right, we can use the concept of average over here. So if 5 pieces of chocolates cost $1.99, the value here will be 1.99 divided by 5. Okay, so you'll get a really strange number, which is 0.398. So just bear with it. If you end up with a fractional value, just stick with that for the time being. As for the lollipops, 4 sticks cost 99 cents. So on average, if we divide this up by 4, we end up with 0.2475. What other way can you do this question? Common multiple first. No, not exactly common multiple. Okay, later on I'll show you briefly. So 3 units times 0.398 will give you 1.194 units. 2 units times this. Okay, remember, if you get a recurring decimal, just make use of fractions. So this will give you 0.495 units, and these two will add up together to give you 101.34. So the other way, okay, so once you form this connection, you want to say that 1.194 units plus 0.495 units will give you a total of 1.689 units, which will represent 101.34. Okay, so to find out the value of 1 unit first, okay, I know the expression seems a bit intimidating because it's something that most of you don't deal with on a daily basis. You want to divide out by whatever this number is, because this times of 1 unit gives you this amount. Therefore, you want to divide it out. And this will give you 60. So when this gives you 60, how many sticks of lollipops did Julie buy from Candyland? The answer here then will be 2 units. Okay? Okay, I'll give you all 1 minute for any questions that you may have first. Okay, any questions? Vibing. Okay, Wykit, there's a lot of ways you can deal with number 1. You get your dad to WhatsApp me later. I try to send him the other solutions. Okay. Now I'm kind of want to rush and clear this, so y'all can go and sleep early. Okay, ah? Okay, let's go. Next one, number 3. So problems like these have become more and more trendy, where they involve systematic listening and logical reasoning. Okay, but logical reasoning plays an integral part in problem solving as well. So it's not just merely about finding the value of 1 unit and all that anymore. It's not simply about that. So for number 3, how do we form certain deductions here? Now let's look at number 3. The tables below shows the number of pupils who wear glasses in primary 3A and the number of girls who wear glasses in primary 3B. The number of boys who wear glasses in primary 3B is not shown. The total number of pupils in each class is fewer than 40. Okay, this is a very important restriction or condition. So the total number of pupils in 3A can be divided equally into 4 groups with no pupils left over. Okay, so this means that the total number of pupils in 3A is going to be a multiple of 4. It will be divisible by 4, and when you divide it by 4, there's no remainder. Similarly, the total number of pupils in primary 3A can also be divided equally into 6 groups with no pupils left over, which means that this total number of pupils is also going to be a multiple of 6. Right? You all got that? Okay, then there are 2 girls in primary 3A who do not wear glasses. how many boys in primary 3A do not wear glasses? So over here, the table has been formed for you. Now I would say make full use of it. Okay, if you need to draw a new one out, do it. Okay, that 1 minute of you drawing it out, if it helps you to see it more clearly, I think it's time well spent. So the number of pupils who wear glasses here, there are people who don't wear glasses, and this is your total. Okay, so when they say that the total number of pupils in primary 3A is when they make these two statements, they are implying that first it's a multiple of 4 and it's also a multiple of 6, which means that the number of pupils in 3A has to be a multiple of 12. Okay, if you list out your first few multiples, you will see that the first common multiple, or lowest common multiple as I prefer to call it, is 12. So what are the possible number of pupils over here? Here you can't really use units and parts anymore. This is where the unit transfer method breaks down, and any other method that relies heavily on units and parts or some form of it will break down. And this is where you have to fall back on logical reasoning. Okay? So to deal with this, right, because the total number of pupils in each class is fewer than 40, let's list out what we have first. 12, 24, 36. Okay? 12, 34, 36. So now, if you try to list out 48, this will be more than 40 pupils, so we don't consider it. Now you can see over here clearly that you already have 23 people here and 2 more pupils in 3A, 2 more girls in 3A who do not wear glasses. And in total over here, there are already 25 people. So you know that the total cannot be 12, you know that the total cannot be 24. The total number of boys and girls has to be 36. Okay, and based on this method of exhaustion, we cancel all the other impossibilities first, and the only remaining possibility that we have is 36 in total for class 3A. So the number of students who wear glasses for 3A would just be 36 minus this 12 minus this 1, minus this 11 minus this 2. So that will be 11. Okay, so the answer for part A will be 11. Got that? Okay, I give you all 30 seconds to write down first. Speed run. Tonight is the real speed run. That's why you see I'm not joking around. And if you want to know, although all the students on T-Chart experience this on a weekly basis. Tiobo. No nonsense, no memes, no nothing until after the class is over. Okay, so next one, part B. The total number of boys in primary 3B is 58, the total number of pupils in primary 3B. How many girls in primary 3B do not wear glasses? Okay, so let's look at this closely. 58 of the total number of pupils in primary 3B. Now, for whole numbers, for quantities involving whole numbers, right, the number of boys or number of people in general has to be a whole number. Who disagrees with this? Okay, if you want to disagree with this, I'm not going to dispute with you. You can think that you're correct, okay? But anyway, the number of people here has to be a whole number. So 5-8, when we say that the total number of boys in primary 5B is 5-8, the total number of pupils in 3B, right? We want to first list out the possible total number of people first. So let's look at the multiples of 8. When you say that this is 5/8 of the total number of pupils, the total number of pupils can be split into 8 equal portions. That's why this will be a multiple of 8. So possible ones are 8, 16, 24, and 32. So don't include 40 because this is fewer than 40, strictly fewer than 40. Do not include 40 in there as a possibility. Okay? So once you got this, let's try to look at this entire result. Okay, so now because you already have 10 girls over here, you know that the total number of pupils cannot be 8. Okay, if your total number of pupils here is 16, your number of boys has to be 5/8 of 16, which will be 10. But if you have 10 boys over here and 10 girls over here, this would contradict the total number of pupils being 16. So you know that it's not possible for you to have 16 pupils in total for B. Okay, so we get rid of this. And then we try 24. If this is 24, 5/8 of 24 here would then give you 15 boys. But you already have 10 girls here, so it cannot be the case that you have 15 boys and 10 girls and your total still adds up to 24. Just not possible. So let's scrap that. Okay. Which means that the only possibility remaining is 32. Now, if you have 5/8 of 32, 5/8 of 32 will be 20. Okay? Okay, I think I should have put it here. Okay, the total number of boys here will be 20. So there's 20 boys in total who wear glasses and don't wear glasses. And then there are there are 10 girls who wear glasses. Which means that over here, the remaining number of girls who don't wear glasses must be 32 minus 20 minus 10. That will give you 2 over here. So this will answer part B. Got that? Then the last one is a very commonly asked, it's been asked several times. So I'll do my best to explain it in the best way possible. In the clearest way possible. I won't say it's the best way, but it should be one of the clearer ones already. Okay, 1 minute for you to ask anything. Okay. Wow, everyone was very serious tonight. That's also good. This is the last lesson I'll have with you, most probably. Okay, so 1 minute is over. Is this an average question? What do you mean by is this an average question? Now this number 4 is actually a very rare question type. Okay, I'll just explain. I'll read through the whole thing and then explain how this can be solved. So first things first, Peter, Roger and Mary each had a sum of money. Okay? They decided to split their dinner bill equally. That means everyone has to pay their own share. Okay, at least this question is better than the previous ones I've covered on Facebook Live. The one where you owe the other person money and don't want to pay back. So, in the first case, if Roger were to pay for the bill first. Now this means that Roger is paying for the entire bill. Okay? The sum of his remaining money would be 4/9 of Mary's money. So 9 goes to Mary, 4 goes to Roger's remaining money. Case 2. If Mary were to pay for the bill first, the sum of her remaining money would be 11 out of 15 of Roger's money. So the last case is that if Peter were to pay for the bill first, he would have used up all his money. So given that Mary had $126 more than Roger, how much was each person's share of the bill? Now, to deal with this, let's analyze it in this manner. Now, this is a case 1, case 2 scenario. And I don't often talk about this. So let me just establish what's going on first. Now, let's say that you start off the day with $100 in your wallet. In the first case, if you spend $20, you will end up with $80. Correct? This is an if, which means that it's hypothetical, it didn't actually happen. You're considering what would happen if you did something. So be very careful on that. It didn't actually happen. Now on the other hand, if you spend $40 and you got $60 left, you would have $60 left. But either way, when you reverse the processes, you will obtain the same beginning. Got it? Yeah, Gina, you're correct. Vikit, you're correct. Okay, so now to deal with this, right? Okay, if you solved this before and you would like to hear the explanation, you can hang around. But other than that, I hope you go to rest early. Okay. So now, based on this, let's try to analyze what's happening in case 1 first. You got Uncle Roger, you got Auntie Mary. There's a before, change, and after. Case 2. Uncle Roger, Auntie Mary. Yeah, Faith. Things have been a bit hectic these days. So if we meet these kind of questions, do we do case by case? Yes. Okay, so how can we deal with this now? You see that from case 1, the after result is that Roger will be left with 4 units, while Mary will be left with 9 units. The change over here was that Roger paid the bill first. If Roger were to have paid the bill first, this would be the result. And then, when we look at case 2, if Mary were to have paid for the bill first, her remaining money would be 11, Roger's money would be 15. No, it's not Punchy method. This one is the explanation of the idea. To derive this, to say that the beginning is equal for both cases. So now when you look at this, right, the second principle I have to explain to you, because I don't think it's obvious for most of us laymen. When I was first starting out, I also had a hard time with this. Okay, so the concept here is the after total remaining unchanged. So let's just say that between Roger and Mary, the total over here, between them, is 100. Yeah, we have to add back. Adeline, we have to add back. So now let's say if Roger were to pay $10, were to have paid $10, the total between them will be reduced by $10. So this is just an example. Don't take this as the actual answer. The total between them will be reduced down to $90, correct? No, this one you don't have to write down, but I'm explaining the concept over here. So the next one here is, what if Mary were to have spent that $10 instead? The total between them will still be reduced by $10, will still decrease by $10, and that will give you $90 over here. So you can see that the total in both cases remains at 90. Okay? You all got this idea? So once you've understood this really, we can apply this concept now in this question. You want to consider the total between them. Now, the amount that both of them the amount that both of them are paying will be the same, which is the entire bill. Okay, so for Yunqi, just now you said that for Roger paying the bill first, he's paying the whole bill. What do you mean by that? Okay, now the reason why I emphasize on the entire bill is because what is actually going to happen is that they would all pay the bill equally. This is what will actually happen. But over here, if the individuals were to pay for the entire bill first, this means that they are paying for everyone's share. Okay, I got one student who also argued with me on this. Fahim, if you're listening, yeah. That caused me quite a bit of headache, especially when I was teaching during class. Okay, so anyway, you will see that the total over here will be 26. Okay, so we say that these two are equal, we want to make them the same. So we change this to 26 units. Okay, then we add on the units over here. Change these to 8 units and 18 units. Okay? So you remember this idea that I was explaining just now? This guy over here? It's important that you know and understand why this happens. Because hypothetically, these are hypothetical considerations. They did not actually happen. So when you trace this back, you can see that this Uncle Roger has got 15 units here. And therefore, in the first case, he should have 15 units as well. And similarly for Mary, 18 units here. When you trace her back, there's no change for her in case 1. So if we form this connection and we say that in case 2, she must have had 18 units at first, we can see that the total at the beginning was 33 units. And the bill that they paid must have been 7 units. Okay, entire bill was 7 units. Got it? So now if we look at case 3, if Peter were to pay for the bill first, he would have used up all his money. So if you consider case 3, we can say that Peter's share is 7 units. Correct? Yeah, now we want to find out 1 unit first. Okay, got it? We want to find out what the value of 1 unit first. So now if Mary had $126 more than Roger, we can now say that 18 units, M versus R, or rather M minus R, 18 units minus 15 units, the difference of 3 units would represent 126. So 1 unit here would be 126 divided by 3 to give you 42. So look at this part carefully. How much was each person's share of the bill? So remember, the entire bill is 7 units. 7 units will be 7 times 42 to give you 294. And then, because they were to split this amount among them equally, everyone would end up paying $98. Okay? If Mary had a little lamb, she would have made lamb chops. Okay, but anyway, the next part here asks, express Peter's sum of money as a fraction of their total sum of money. So for this, you don't have to go through every single process again. You see that Roger's money is 7 units, right? Peter's share is 7 units. So the total share will be 7 out of a total of 7 plus Roger's number of units plus Mary's number of units. In total, this will be 7 out of 40. Okay? Yeah, Adeline, basically we do that. But for part B, you don't have to multiply out everything again. Lamb chops. Rack of lamb. Okay, speed run done. Some of the questions that have stumped most students and even parents, done in 45 minutes.